So, I'm here to talk about camp. Now, a lot of you, I'm sure, have gone to camp before, whether that was a wilderness camp or something like I'm going to talk about, a music and arts camp. There were all kinds when I was younger. There was even horse camp. I never went, but some people did. I'm sure the memories still haunt them. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about how camp impacted me and why you should let your kids go to camp. So the camp that I went to, like I said, is a music and arts camp, and it's still around today. It's been around for almost 30 years. And it's a really cool foundation that does the camp. They also go around to schools and they provide education on a specific topic. So they'll pick a topic for a year, like for example, one year it was China. So they go around to schools and provide them with music about China that they've selected for that year, art having to do with China, all kinds of things, dance even. It's really cool. They also have a celebration for art and music created based on the theme for that year. So they'll have kids from middle schools that learned a song come and play, and people can come look at art that kids have made. It's really cool. They do a lot to kind of get the community involved in kids' education through music and arts. So this foundation kind of was losing money because a lot of people just didn't really see the need to support it. So about 4 or 5 years ago, my best friend and I, who both met and went to camp for almost 10 years, were chosen to go give a speech at this banquet. And this banquet was awesome. Teachers that taught art and music from around the county got these drums. They all got the same drum, and it had to do with the theme for that year. And they painted the drums and put them up for auction, and all of the money for their hard work for that would go to help this foundation. And me and my best friend were the only ones chosen out of every student that had ever gone to the camp to come and speak about why you should support the camp. And it was really moving and really fun. They also had, instead of live music, they had kids our age and a little bit older at the time playing music that they had written and that the camp had inspired them to write. So it was a really cool thing, and it got a lot of rich members of the community involved in helping, and we were actually able to raise enough money to keep the camp going. We had storytelling time, we had campfires, just like every other camp, but this one was a little bit different. You see, we had classes. Yes, classes. There were some required and some that we got to choose, and we would go around to different teachers. There were a lot of different teachers, and we would learn about that theme for that year. We would draw pictures, we would make sculptures, we would sing songs, we would learn speaking roles. It was a lot of fun. And the classes that I always took were the same. I took theater and musical theater, and those were both with the same teacher, so he and I got to be really close throughout the years, and he's a really cool mentor and does a lot of stuff with kids in the community, so it's pretty cool. And we had to audition for roles in whatever we were doing. Like, for instance, one year we did the Addams Family, another year we did Hansel and Gretel. I'll get back to that later.
I'm called Gretel, and this rough one here is my brother Hansel.
And another year we did The Little Mermaid. Now, I got a role in all of those. For the Addams Family, I was the grandma. For Hansel and Gretel, I was Hansel. And for The Little Mermaid, I was Sebastian. Somebody else's you dream about going out there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things around you. What more is you looking for? Under the sea, under the sea, brighter cities in Fricassee. We want the land folks love to cook. Under the sea, we got the hook. We got no troubles, life is the bubbles under the hook. Yeah, I'm very grateful for what the camp taught me and for how many things I was able to learn, the experiences I was able to have, the friends that I was able to make, which I still have today, which is awesome. People say that a lot, you know, you make friends somewhere and you keep them, but I was never really that kind of person. When I was a kid, I could be pretty shy. When I got nervous, I got really talkative, and I would do things like chew on my hair, and that kind of turned kids my age away from me. I've always connected better with people older than me than I have with my peers, and that's still true today. So I wanted to talk about this today because I have a lot of pictures and videos that I've recently come across. Now, first of all, before you get to see any of this, do not judge my style. I was a weird, insecure, small person who didn't quite know who I was yet, and I'm still figuring that out. I'm sure if you look back on pictures of you, you'll see pictures of clothing and stylistic choices that you're not a fan of. Like me, right now, looking back at these pictures and thinking, dear God, what are you doing? Small child, stop! Now this camp did a lot for me. It really brought me out of my shell, gave me some confidence. This was the first place that I really sang in front of people, and it really encouraged me to keep doing it, and I love it now. So I learned a lot about myself, about other people. It's a good time. Here is a short video of me as Hansel from Hansel and Gretel.
Run, come and dance with me. Hold my hand, I are happy. Right foot fast, left foot back, round and back again. I would dance but don't know how. When to jump or when to bow. Show me what I ought to do so that I may dance like you. With your foot you tap, tap, tap. With your hands you clap, clap, clap. Right foot fast, left foot back, round and back again.
Yeah. Scary stuff. Really scary stuff. I'm looking back on the memories now, and as much as I miss camp because I grew out of the age that you're allowed to still go, kind of happy that part is behind me. We had to get up really early, we went to bed kind of late, and fed us some interesting food. One of the cool things about this camp is we always had counselors from all around the world. Now there's a ton of camps they did at this place. It was a big campground. They would have people who could come and rent their own cabins if they wanted to. There were indoor cabins with air conditioning and bathrooms, and there were outdoor cabins with no air conditioning and bathrooms. There was a bathhouse. It's kind of cool. There were high ropes where you could climb 40 feet up in the air, and there was a giant swing where you could step off and swing into the woods. It was really cool. And dining halls. There were halls that teachers could stay in because our camp had teachers. There was a lake and a lakefront. There was a campfire area. There was a mud hike. So a lot of cool stuff. So one of the other awesome things that we got to do that kind of sticks with us from this camp is we made necklaces. So each year you got a glass bead and a wood bead. Now you only got glass beads your first 5 years because each of the beads color stands for what year it was that you had been there, and then every year after that you only got a wooden bead. Now the glass beads you didn't get to choose the color, but the wooden beads you got to choose a trait, something that you wanted to work on. So there was spirituality, honesty, caring, environment, challenge, integrity, honesty. I think I already said honesty. Honesty's important. Sorry, someone called me and my video cut off. Where were we? So, my glass beads. The yellow stands for first year, red second, green third, blue fourth, and orange fifth. So then after that I only got wood beads. So if we can count. Can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 years I went to this camp. 8 summers of my life, and it was only a week, but it pretty much documented the entire year. I looked forward to it every year. I got a paper saying I was going to camp as my Christmas present every year. It's really fun. So we kind of wear this to remember our memories from camp, the people, and all of the things that we wanted to work on those years. Now, I didn't always complete my goals. Like my first year, this was a red bead. You can only see a little bit of red, and it was for caring. I am not a caring person. Honesty. Sometimes I'm an honest person. A lot of things that I should still definitely be working on, but I don't know, it's a good memory to have. So I actually keep it in a drawer in my closet so that I don't get rid of it or lose it because it's so important. So why should you send your kids to camp, or why should you try to go to camp for as long as you can? It's an escape. We weren't allowed to have phones or iPads or anything at our camp. We could only contact our parents via writing them. They were allowed to send us packages and letters. We could send them letters. If there was an emergency, obviously you could call them. But for the most part, we weren't allowed to call them. Ever. So for kids that weren't used to being away from their parents, it could be a little scary at first, but once you realize that this place is like your second home, it gets a lot easier. So, my window looks like it's really bright, but it's actually quite dark outside. I don't know what that's all about. Probably the light reflecting on the blinds. I don't know. So, send your kids to camp. Go to camp for as long as you can. Get out of it what you can, because you're gonna have some fun times and you're gonna remember it forever and look back on it like me now and get sad because you see your tiny self and all of the things that you hadn't done yet and all of the mistakes that you were about to make. And you couldn't do anything about it. That's my story time for today. It's probably gonna be a little bit long. Sorry, but I thought as an intro to this channel I would give you something kind of to get to know me a little bit and why I am interested in music. Probably the next video that you'll see will be me doing some kind of music, and I'll explain that beforehand a little bit. Thanks for your time and your viewing and your listening to me speak. Subscribe if you haven't. Like or dislike, I don't care. Thanks.